Hey, Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja. Today I am with Paul Monroe, our newest franchise owner in the state of Delaware, and we've got a great Ask a Ninja. Apparently there's people out there encapsulating crawl spaces and telling homeowners that they don't require insulation. Can you believe that, Paul?
It's hard to believe.
Isn't it hard? Anyway, we're going to talk about that, so stay tuned. So if you're new to Crawl Space Ninja's YouTube channel, we talk about everything related to basements and crawl spaces and how to air seal and insulate your home. So we hope you'll subscribe to our channel and ring that notifications bell, as well as follow us on Facebook for all the latest information. Paul, I'm going to read this out loud. This was actually a person in North Carolina that wrote us, and I'm going to tell you what they said. Recently, we had our crawl space encapsulated, not by Crawl Space Ninja. Some mold was found and was informed that no insulation was needed, so all was removed. House stays colder than normal now. From what I understand, Delaware is a little bit north of North Carolina. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So if you were encapsulating a crawl space in Delaware and no insulation was put in, or the house wasn't air sealed, what do you think would happen to all those homes?
You would expect to see frozen pipes and all sorts of issues with the house in the wintertime.
That's right, and the draft and all that sort of thing. So why is it, Paul, that you feel like these companies are telling people that insulation is not required?
I think they're just trying to get in and out quickly. They're trying to use the least amount of materials possible and just doing shoddy workmanship.
That's right. A lot of times what we found, and we've done a lot of crawl space myths over the years, be careful what you listen to and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of those myths that is out there, is that your crawl space or your basement does not require insulation. And one of the things that homeowners need to realize, according to the Department of Energy, is that your basement and your crawl space is the number 2 place in your home you should insulate. That's one of the things that we try to do as Crawl Space Ninja. And I think you're right. I think that companies, they try to say these things to set the homeowners up based on price, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're going in there and you're a few $1,000s more expensive because you're adding insulation, like our termite resistant foam board or our insul barrier or whatever, and they're a few $1,000s less because they're not insulating, and they're telling them that, oh, Paul, he doesn't know what he's talking about, insulation isn't even required, then it sets you up to look like, first of all, you're trying to take advantage of them, plus you're higher. Don't you think that's probably what's going on?
I'm sure that's what the case is. They have to be able to find a way to justify the lower price.
That's right. So we'd rather do it right.
Absolutely.
The other thing they mentioned in there is there's mold after it's encapsulated. Why do you think that could be?
It wasn't properly treated before the encapsulation was done, or they're not properly controlling the humidity at this time.
So what are some of the areas, I know we talk about the state of Delaware, but what's some of the cities that are in the area that need to be concerned about contractors saying these things?
So I see a lot of stuff that's around the coast in Rehoboth, Lewis, Milton, even Dover. You get into Wilmington up there on the rivers. I'm seeing a lot of people have problems with a lot of drafts coming through. They're not properly insulated, and in the wintertime people are concerned about their pipes freezing. We've got a customer in Wilmington that we're going to do a small encapsulation on, small space, but her chief complaint was pipes freezing in the wintertime. We're going to add foam board, we're going to add some extra additional insulation to keep her warm, and then the dehumidifier is going to create a little bit of energy that's going to help keep it maintained at a suitable temperature year-round.
Did that crawl space have heating and air ducts in it, or was it without heating and air ducts?
No heating or air ducts.
Okay, so that's even more important to make sure you insulate, because if you don't have those heating and air ducts, then it's just going to be super cold down there. One of the things real quick that they said that I kind of glazed over real quick, and I wanted to make sure everybody understands, is that you said the reason why they could have mold after encapsulation is the contractor may not have installed a dehumidifier.
Correct.
That's very important. Even in Delaware, up north, it's probably humid, right?
Absolutely.
What was your weather like first of the year this year? Are you all snowy, or are you cold?
We had a good bit of sno this year. It changes year to year. Sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's snow, but Delaware stays pretty humid.
So even in Delaware, you're going to need a dehumidifier in your crawl space. So those are the things. Make sure when you encapsulate the crawl space, you adequately insulate. We typically will insulate the foundation walls versus the subfloor when we encapsulate. If you have an open crawl space, you want to make sure you insulate the subfloor via code. But if you have an open crawl space with a subfloor insulation, you're not controlling humidity.
Correct.
And then mold can form. Then once you encapsulate it, make sure you put in that dehumidifier, that active ventilation system to remove soil gases. Any contractors you've gone up against that even talk about active ventilation?
Not many. There's a lot of smaller guys in Delaware that we're competing against that are just doing kind of inferior work. There's a couple larger guys that offer similar products, but definitely not on the same level that we do.
Any soda blasting going on up there?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Well, a little bit. Not much. Not
Right.
much.
Sodium bicarbonate is a great way to strip all the mold off of the wood and joists and everything like that. All right. So anything else you want to tell about you to the folks of Delaware? I mean, give us a little bit of your background and all that sort of thing.
I grew up in Delaware. I was there until I was about 19, moved away for a few years, came down to the south, and have now been back for a couple of years and really enjoying kind of reintroducing myself to the people that I grew up around. Everybody's kind of at a different point in their life, and it's just been really nice to kind of retouch some of those folks, and we're ready to kind of really get back out and get active in the community and get this thing going.
Well, we appreciate you coming down and doing this video with us down here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And this is Paul from Crawl Space Ninja of Delaware, and I'm Michael Church from Crawl Space Ninja. We hope you make it a happy and blessed day, and we'll see you later.